The Adventures of Man Sponge and Boy Patrick and What Ray is Shrinking. Chapter 9, Wumborama. Merman Man was talking to his friend Barnacle Guy, Patrick said. Barnacle Boy, SpongeBob corrected. Patrick struck a very dramatic pose. Mermaid Man screamed, I sense weevils! I think you mean evil, SpongeBob said. Patrick broke out of his pose. Who's telling this story, you or me? Sorry, SpongeBob said. So, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy ran to Boy Patrick for help, Patrick continued. They needed him to help fight the scary weevils. SpongeBob didn't remember this episode at all. Boy Patrick said, Don't worry, I will help you. I'm not afraid of anything. So they jumped into the inedible boatmobile. SpongeBob started to say something, but Patrick waved him off and kept telling his story. And drove to downtown Bikini Bottom where the giant weevils were eating the buildings and then burping. And the burp smelled horrible. Like this. Patrick gave a tremendous belch. Squidward looked sick. So Mermaid Guy and Barnacle Dude turned to Boy Patrick and screamed, Boy Patrick, what should we do? Patrick jumped up and down and waved his arms, acting out the story. And Boy Patrick thought really hard, and then he said, Why don't you use your secret utility belt? And so they did, and it worked, and Boy Patrick was a hero. The end. At least that was the way Patrick remembered it. He crossed his arms and looked smug. SpongeBob was puzzled. That's a great story, Patrick. But what does it have to do with getting Squidward back to his normal size? It proves, Patrick said patiently, that I know all about Mermaid Man's belt. Here, let me take a closer look. Patrick leaned down and stared at the belt for about a second. He said, rubbing his chin. You know what the problem is? What? Asked SpongeBob eagerly. You got it set to M for Minnie, when it should be set to W for Wumbo. Patrick announced triumphantly. He grabbed the M belt buckle and turned it upside down so it looked like a W. SpongeBob frowned. Patrick, I don't think Wumbo is a real word. Patrick just shook his head. Come on! You know! I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, me, Wumbo. Patrick still tightly clutched Squidward. He rolled his eyes as Patrick kept explaining. Wumbo, Wumbo Wing, we'll have the Wumbo, Wumborama, Wumbology, the study of Wumbo. It's first grade, SpongeBob. This is stuff you learn in first grade. SpongeBob smiled. Patrick, I'm sorry that I doubted you. All right then, Patrick said. Let her rip. Zap! Stay tuned for Chapter 10, coming up soon.